My project is on service life prediction model of exterior wall finishing of tertiary institution buildings in southwest Nigeria. Then they have the outline. Then I have introduction, that's the building maintenance and rehabilitation. The cost of building maintenance and rehabilitation is high, especially this time that cost of everything is high. So it's better to notice it and do it on time before it goes bad. Now, background study, that one to continue. Background studies. Existing method of model used for service years. There are existing methods that has been set by international bodies of predicting service life. The first one is we have the analytical method. That's identify the wear and tears of the mechanism. Then the second one is statistical model. The statistician, they do that. Then empirical model, that's you assess the service life by referring to the performance of that a particular material in the past and refer to the current one. Then experimental model, that's you use experiment. You go to lab, you take the material to the lab and test it and wait for a period and then decide. And then you now even infer. That's experimental model. Then we have computer application model. That one is the latest model where you use artificial neural network. Then it's a matter of start problem. Yeah, the problem is that there are times that every management of institutions, they are bothered with academic activities. So the projects that involve academic activities, those are the things their mind will go into. So they will not just know when the whole buildings will dilapidate at once and the whole environment will start looking somehow. But if they have a model that will tell them that, look, after this period, you have to start, you have to rehabilitate, so they start planning in advance. That, okay, this one after 2 years, my director of work, you have to do this. This one after like that. So that's the problem. There is such a question, that says where are what are the common type of exterior wall materials used? Then the other one is how frequent are the paint maintained or replaced in the study area? What are the factors affecting the performance and maintenance of paint in the study area? And how can the service life of exterior wall finish be predicted using a model? Then an aim and objective. The aim for this study is to assess the factors that affect service life of exterior paint finish on sand, cement, screed facade of building in tertiary institution located in the southwest Nigeria, and develop a model towards maximizing the service life for budgetary planning and planning purposes. Objective is to identify the common exterior wall finishing used on building in tertiary institutions in southwest, then to examine the frequency of maintenance, so replacement of paint used on exterior wall, and then assess the factors affecting performance and maintenance of paint using, then develop a prediction model for service life. Then the scope of study. The scope of my study is the paint, and also is for southwest area, that's southwestern Nigeria, and then also buildings that are constructed under standard contract procedure, and then the paint that is used on cement, sand, mortar. That's the paint that is applied on it. That's my scope. That's the institutional building. I will get there. The study area is southwest Nigeria, so Ogun, and so forth. Then this is the graph. Then this is the annual rainfall of the in the surface, the temperature area, justification. Yeah. Justification is just like I said before, that it's better to have a kind of a model that will advise management of various situations or anywhere that, look, after a period start, otherwise you see the whole building, they will get deteriorated at the same time. Because when they do that, the volume, the amount of money that we require to do the whole thing at once will be far more than if they had been taken one at a time as they deteriorate. So that's one of the, and therefore provide a useful reference to built environment community, that's scientific community, and body of knowledge on service life prediction of exterior in tropical environment. And then also my scope also is tropical rainforest. That's tropical area. Why? Because that is a natural environment. You can't say a normal environment. What is normal? There's something like normal environment. There's no normal like normal condition, because we either have a tropical environment, tropical rainforest, or savanna, desert, temperate, and so on. So we don't have just normal. So that is why I decided to pick natural environment, geographical environment like tropical rainforest. Then continue to name. Yeah. Decide you have here. Picture review. Functional information acquisition. Memory position of sample. Okay. Yeah, this is the police. Okay. Teacher is in Nigeria. Okay. Methodology. Okay. So I tried to use mixed method. That is, I use the questionnaire. That is, then analytical, observation analytical. Then we now use statistical to compute the deterioration part of the materials, of the building materials. Then the population sample, yeah. Now, I try to use federal institution because most individuals don't use consultant. And any building that is constructed without any supervision, you can't trust the materials. But the ones, I remember my experience on site one day. Well, the engineer just said, look, this reinforcement, go and take it for a test. So there is no, as far as I'm concerned, there is no building that is supervised under normal conditions that the consultant will allow them to use inferior material. That's why I decided the only client that do that is federal government. There are some state government that will ignore that they don't have money. The federal government do it because they follow the normal standard contractual procedure. Now, so that is why I now settled down on federal institutions in each state. So we have about 6 states. So now I try now to pick federal university and federal polytechnic. So making about 12 for the 12 institutions by the 6 states. Now, for every institution, I picked on. Okay, these are the states. And the data collection. I use questionnaire. The questionnaire. The way I went to the director of works because they are the ones that are conversant with the issue of the building, and there are cases where the director of works are new, so they will use. And
what you say you pick the states, yeah, the university or so, you are not finished that statement before you jump to another thing. Have you?
I picked
You
buildings.
have not told us the university you picked. How?
No, I said I picked, okay. I said I picked one university, one federal university per state, and one federal polytechnic per state.
So by the 6 times, by 3 that you have them.
Yeah, by the buildings. That's why I say I'll get to that.
Okay, all right, okay, please continue.
Yes.
You have taken like
3 buildings
Look at
from
your
each.
nothing from this.
Can you see?
You can see it.
So,
Don't stress yourself.
What can you see? Can you see
yeah,
the
okay.
thesis itself?
Yes.
I didn't let it. I think it's back. It's back.
It's back.
Hold on.
Maybe on it or so. Maybe I'll be on it.
If I leave it alone, you will
Yeah.
be projected.
Data collection.
Leave it.
Don't worry,
You
don't
will
stress
see it.
yourself. Don't worry.
Okay.
You can see it on your system, just continue. You
I
have the right
see
to
it.
it. You can see open the laptop.
Hold on.
What if I do as I do?
Have you? It's coming up.
So you pick universities.
Yeah, I picked universities and then polytechnics. That was federal, the one that belong to federal. Then I get to I use the director of works or the old staff in the works department who are familiar with the buildings and their ages. So those are the ones that filled the questionnaire for me. Now, although this is these are the institution and type of building. So I have 3 types of buildings per institution. I pick admin building, administrative building, education building. Admin, what do I mean by admin building? The admin building is the main administrative for offices, and then the like where they hold meetings. There are some fragments like the Senate building or academic board meeting. Then the like faculty building, departmental building. I see those ones as admin building. Then the educational building. I use a classroom. I classify that as classrooms, lecture theatre, libraries, and then the research buildings. I see those ones, and the workshop. I see those as educational buildings. The residential building. I use I pick staff quarters and the student hostel. That is how I arrived at my 36 for the first 3 buildings per institution times 12. That's 36. This is the okay, the institutions that Yaba College of Tech, we have that's Polytechnic, Administrative Building, Library, Student, then we have the Federal Polytechnic, and so on and so forth. Then you have type of data. We use both primary and secondary data were used in this study. Primary data was sourced from questionnaires and site photographs, while secondary data was sourced from literature of published reports, previous work research, and articles on a topic related to the scope. Then data, the gathering tools, I use questionnaire, visual survey, and observation. Then observation schedule. These are the things. Then the data analysis. Yeah. The data was analyzed through 3 steps as follows. Evaluation of performance of building components by the visual rating, then development of typical distribution parts, and determination of life expectancy of each component. Then data analysis. Then the method, mixed method observation, analytical, statistical was used to analyze the data. Parts, distribution part, graph were used to portray the typical distribution pattern for building component, and statistical tool used, Excel and statistical tool was used to compile data gathered from field, and Minitab version 17 tool was used to draw the regression graph. Then this is how the steps. The first one is evaluation of typical physical, then extension and so on. Then I did the rating from visual observation. We now do the rating. The building that is neat, that doesn't require any reaction. I will rate as 100. Then the next one is, that one is still okay, but it's still okay, but we don't actually require any sales. We did that as 80. Then the next one is, yeah, there is sign of adaptation, but it can still be managed. But that one is listed at 60. Then the next one, 40. Then the next one is, that one has failed. So it has to be changed. Then that is the next one is the rating. This is the table. Development of typical solution parts as disclosed. Determination of life expectancy and component performance. The information of life this is the sample, the way it will look like. This is the sample of elevation, analysis of building characteristics. Then we have age and the suitability of the building. After going through the institutions, there are some institutions that did not respond, and there are some institutions that are so new that we cannot use their building for the study, because there is a building that is just an institution like Federal Polytechnic Aiyegbajeje. It's less than 2 years, so we cannot use the building for this study, because no matter what, you must according to a certain state for the buildings are used. So this is then we have the frequency, frequency of the building types and so on. For administration. Now, after taking the photograph and observing the building for each institution and then building type. For instance, this administrative bank, these are the rating. We rate the with the age of the building and the component performance as related in the other one. So this is the regression graph for that administrative building. Now, the performance, this is the findings. The performance of the painting declines to 60 level after 12 years and to 40 levels after 21 years. That's for administrative building. This means that a unit increase in the age of paint leads to an average of 2.254 years decrease in the component performance. The variation of 63.1% in component performance. This is for the educational buildings. We have the age, we have the component performance stated. This is the regression part for educational building. And this is the final. The sample building's age varies within a range of 20 to 50 years for component performance of 60 and 40 were reduced by age, to be 8 and 19 years. Which means that a unit increase in the age of paint as applied to traditional building tends to decrease the component performance by an average of 1.85 years as 71.1%. This for residential building. The age and the component performance. This is the regression line for it. We have component performance over age. This is the finding for it. A sample building's age varies within a range of 20 to 50 years. Then the lifespan, the average lifespan is found to be 11 years for 60 level, and then 20 years for 40 levels. A unit increase in the age of paint tends to reduce the component performance of residential building by an average of 1.084 years as 78.6% variation. Now this is for the general, that's we will now add all the buildings together. That means the residential and we do the component performance for all of them. We have this is the findings. The findings shows that the sample age varies within a range of 20 to 40 years. The standard life experience for a minimum required component performance of 60 to 40 were reduced to be 11 and then 24 years, respectively. Analysis of component performance showed that a unit increase in the age of paint as applied decreased by an average of 575 years, as that is a 60.8% variation in the component performance of the analysis of building in the age, which influenced the age at which the building was painted. The conclusion. I now conclude that the components predicted service life and service life interval under the odd and even as tropical environment for each type of building, taking into consideration the paint type, the characteristic, the duration patterns point to linear pattern, which indicates determinants and the continuous mechanism of degradation over time for all the three exterior buildings studied, although the progression of inflation is different in each case. Okay? Recommendation. It is recommended that the management of institutions within the study area should start budgeting for rehabilitation of physical wall paint from 8 years after application for educational buildings like classroom, lecture theatre, workshop, and so on, 11 years after application for residential buildings, and then 12 years after application for administrative buildings. Thank you.